Good afternoon, good evening, and good day. And amazingly, still good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Uh, I had a bad start to the day, so here we are. Let's get it started. We've got let's start with a little Canadian news. I guess it's U.S. news too, but it's only good for the Canadians. The Kia EV5 is not coming to the States. It's going to be exclusive to Canada, and it's going to have next, of course. It's going to be slotted in between the EV9 and the EV3 or EV6 and EV3. Either way. Let me check the audio real quick and then we'll really get started here. Okay, I don't hear any weirdness. And let's take the chat. Timothy was here. What's up, Timothy? Timothy, check out his books. And so as I was saying, the Kia EV 5 to be here in 2026. And yeah, so definitely in between the EV9 and the uh, the EV3. Gonna get a 30-inch panoramic display. That's interesting. Right over there. Okay. Seating accommodates 5 passengers, and the second row folds completely flat. Impressive. I like it when you get like a small package, but it'll work with like cargo, people, and that looks like when you're not all in your family around, you'll be able to, skip renting some vehicles to move stuff around if you want to as well. Oh, and it's gonna be uh, at the auto show in Toronto on February 14th to the 23rd. All right. So then pulled this one up. I didn't read through it, but basically, um, with the different priorities of this new administration and their disdain for anything green, uh, as we've been warning, they have their sights on any of the programs out there. So don't wait beyond this year to claim anything that's available to you because it's not guaranteed. In fact, it's pretty much a pencil in that it won't be there next year. So let's see which ones Joey's talking about specifically. Put a pause on the Navy program, which they'd say, "Oh, yeah, $8 billion in 4 chargers or whatever." Uh, it was more than four, and how it takes a long time to put these things in place, and these local governments and utility companies don't really move all that efficiently when it comes to onboarding new large stations. I believe the last time I looked into the number, it was 9 stations, so more than four, and 8 billion was for the whole program, not how much those 9 stations used. So there's that. Where's my notebook? Right here. Kia EV5. This one was a fun one to me. I'm on the right day. Yeah, I'm on the right day. The 1000th supercharger in Sweden is located in a IKEA parking lot. And I assume that with the interference of IF metal, it's actually offline, despite the fact that we see one vehicle there appearing to charge. That might be like a test or something, or perhaps because of where it is, this one's actually running. I don't know, but there it is. So this has to be on purpose. Are they allowed to hook it up with IF metal sympathy operations? And we don't know. Nobody's answered me. Although I don't know how close it might be to Anders to know if he could look it up, or if any of our other Swedish viewers could say, "Hey, this is running." But that gives me an idea right now. Um, you guys aren't looking at what I'm looking at because this thing opened in the wrong place. Stand by. Move tab to that one. Mark. What's going on, Mark? Let's get you on screen here. Boom. Share this tab instead. I don't hear Mark. The software has been really mean to Mark all this year. Every other time he comes in, no problem. But this time, and most of our Tesla Life shows this year, he's had to like redo his mic, which is fun times.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
There he is,
There we go. How you doing, Kacey?
doing quite well. Woke up late. So this one was really cool. Mark's already added it to his list of the.
I haven't, but this reminds me. I didn't
Oh.
add it to our list, but I am going to add it now. That this timely reminder.
Excellent. So this was really cool, and it got me to thinking: is it plugged in or not? So I need to now go to supercharge.info and see if it's operational, because I'm worried that that it looks really cool. There's a car plugged in and it's got solar, but if it does not have a battery, then that means that the sympathy strikes are likely to have affected it. All right, so let's see where they say this one is.
In the photo, there is a car that's parked in a spot, but
yeah, I saw that. But I'm also wondering though if it's the installers. You know, when they plug in the superchargers, they plug in and make sure they can communicate.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's not that. All right, so we need to go to. Do they have them by number? Trying to figure out how I would best search this. Let's go to any statuses. Let's do number 1000 as the text. That should limit it to a couple of them. West Germany, New York, China. I thought it would, but apparently a lot more of them have 1000 in their metadata than I thought. So let's go to map, and we'll go to Loveland, Texas, apparently. We'll zoom all the way out, slide our way on over to Europe. My computer didn't like that. Europe. All right, there's another one. Denmark, Sweden. There we are. All right, let's share the screen with you guys. And do we know what part of the country it's in?
Good question. I'm not sure where that is at all. Well, I have no clue what any city is in Sweden. Let's be honest.
Right? They gave us nothing. They just said, here it is. All right, so I'm going to the Tesla post. What's that? Mark's here. You want to say hi to Mark? What's that on your face? You got chocolate?
Hey, Moto.
What's that map?
It's a map. That's right.
What map?
Map of Sweden.
Hi.
Look.
I want to read it.
You want to read about Mickey Mouse and ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Candy.
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 Oh, she's eating cotton candy. That's right.
Kundi.
So on the Tesla post, let's see if they say where it is.
Go
I imagine they have several. Like,
Here we go. I found another post on X.
okay, I was about to say, I imagine there's a bunch of ideas in Sweden.
At the beautiful upgraded first solar roof V4 location in Helsingborg that opened today. So it's
Helsingborg?
HELSINGBORG.
I want to read it.
HEL.
SIN.
SIN. Oh, there it is.
PRAID.
That's right.
map?
The map is of superchargers. You know, when we go to charge our car, it's open for 578 days. Really?
It's an upgraded spot.
Okay, 24 V4. So it might be easier to connect one that's already been connected. It's not accessible. Popcorn, yeah. And we can add to route details. Let's go details.
Big dog.
250. Solar canopy, yes. Other EVs, yes. 154 feet above sea level. Oh, pizza and hamburgers, yes. Oh, you can't? Okay. Oh, and it is labeled as trailer friendly. Look at that. We also looked at Mark. The V5 is no longer coming to the States. It's just a Canadian adventure. And it will have the NACS.
I'm sorry, which one?
The Kia EV5 SUV?
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Yep, it's skipping the US.
Well, I mean, we probably did it to ourselves.
Dog.
It's been real. It's milk, juice, and water. The guy from Up is selling that for his juice.
Dog.
It's juice. It's a fruit juice combo.
Like this.
Okay, so we've got Mercedes is finally they've been part of the Supercharger Coalition, but they finally are active now, and their adapter costs a lot less than I had expected. They're starting today as of February 4th, and they showed this one. I believe that's a prototype or gas one, but they have an electric that looks just like it. There are no cookies on that page. You have muffins, pies, and bread. There are no cookies. Yeah, Mickey's baking cookies, but they're not in the sheet. Okay, so they've got the NACS, and then their adapter is going to be only $185. Didn't most of the ones that charge like 200 and change, Mark?
Yep.
Okay, so amazingly, despite what everything else that Mercedes charges you for and the rates that they charge you, they must have got a bulk deal on the adapters, or they're just passing the savings along, or there's something about it that they just didn't feel the effort to mark them up was worth it. So when I was saying that that the Kia was the wrong rating and costs a little bit much, if they don't require a Mercedes VIN to purchase this adapter, maybe you get yours from Mercedes and you can use it on any car.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay. So the other cool thing about that is you might require a software update, and I do believe that is over the air, but that doesn't say for sure. Let's oh, I didn't share the page. I was looking at this over at Electric. I was a little distracted. Let's see if they say if you need to bring it in for that update or if it's already been done. You done?
Done.
All done? Okay. Say bye-bye. Okay. Oh, wait, you gotta take off the front, baby. You gotta choke yourself. There you go. 0?
Yeah.
Okay. 0. Oh, don't push 0. All right. Love you. Okay. Look at the update. Mercedes EVs so far don't have NACS. Yes, true. They come out later this year. I'm surprised how long the native ports are taking. We've got it on the Lucid Gravity,
Yep.
and a couple of Hyundai Kias. Your hands are clean? Yeah, your hands are clean. Your face is covered in chocolate, though. Oh, don't put it in your dress. You want a napkin? And she did the dress. What can I say? Oh, that's a cool looking little e-bike, scooter, moped. It's a bike. It's got a bike chain. It's not a moped even.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. All right, so there's Mercedes. Later this year, they'll have an adapter for 185. Oh, I've got more details on Mercedes and the NACS. We've got a bill. Let's take a look. I don't know why it keeps opening in the wrong window. So I'm gonna start doing what I usually do and doing the the open in, or no, the what do you call it? The just the paste and go. All right. So Tesserati found this post by Zach. It turns out, yeah, that part we knew. Uh, you need a software update and some physical service as well. So this will not be as simple as um,
This is not going to be an over-the-air update, is it?
exactly. It's not even just a software update. Like, I bring it into the dealers. I get some stuff tweaked. I'm wondering, no, because it's not that. I was gonna say maybe this has something to do with the charger, but as a CCS adapter, it doesn't. It's only the native one will have to worry about high voltage coming into the AC ports. This one doesn't have AC ports on their adapter, unless you get the low voltage adapter. But then you can only plug in one and charge it at a time. Okay, let's see. Look into Zach's post here. Mercedes needs to perform a software update plus add a recall sticker above the label in the charge port. What?
Why?
Yeah. I
Add
wonder if
a
this is a
recall sticker.
yeah. And why recall and not, compliant or updated or
Updated, yeah.
that's just weird. The update could take half a day to complete. Wow. Plus you gotta spend 185 for the next adapter. That's nothing. So compared to, like I said, we were 225, 250 was the max we've heard so far.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, like not far off. Like call it 220, just even easy. This could take up to half a day. Took my dad's EQS to get the update this morning, and I didn't have the sticker, so they ordered it. Hopefully, not turn his off because they didn't have the sticker.
Who cares about a sticker?
I hope somebody asked him and he told us more about the sticker. I didn't have the sticker, so I ordered it. ETA is tomorrow. I'll bring it back next week to get the update performed. Oh, they won't even do the update without the sticker.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no!
And look, they call it a sticker installed.
Yeah, installed.
How do you install a sticker? Isn't that you just stick the sticker? Isn't that what it's for?
Yeah. They could at least call it an
Wow.
applique. Wow. Seems to be an issue.
This is something different, experiencing Mercedes-Benz service.
I expected it to be like, white glove service, but apparently not. I'll bring it back next. I mean, because you have to schedule this in order to show up. You don't just drive up to the bay and be like, "Hey, do my next update." They're like, "See you next Thursday." Oh no! So dealer comp seems to be an issue. Another dealer I spoke to had zero idea it was even coming and was possible. Typical legacy auto fun.
That's not unheard of with legacy auto, though. Really,
that's true. I mean, because even with Tesla, if you ask them about something that Elon Musk just said, they'd be like, "What?"
Yeah, they got no clue either. You're correct.
But they're more likely to, and more likely to have it right. Okay, so he had no idea it was coming. He's returning the lease in 6 weeks anyway, and likely getting a Tesla, so it won't be an issue. Okay, I was about to say, because 6 weeks you're going to have another car that needs an adapter. I wonder if they're going to. They must do this for the new cars on the lot, and obviously the ones that are coming off the factory must have them too, until they start shipping with native ports. Wow. So let's look at his invoice. Production date, warranty. It was in service in March. That's a short lease. 25 of March of 23, or 23, and it was the 25th of March. This is America, so that's the year. Okay, so that's not so bad. 3-year lease. No, it's a 2-year lease. Oh well. Recall. It's a recall. Perform open recall.
Maybe they got nothing else to pick in the computer system as to what it's actually for, and they have to choose recall.
Perhaps. But we got a number that we can look up: 202-501-000. Oh, just 2 zeros. 10 dash 24P219540. Install next adapter information label. That's a recall. I'm hoping that the recall is just something else about the charge port, and they just won't let you go until that's handled. Like the
It could be that there's actually a physical component that has to be changed out or swapped out, similar to what happened when some of the cars were able to accept CCS on Tesla's side, but you couldn't do that until they made an internal change to one of the circuit boards.
That makes sense. Because mine was one of those. I think yours was too.
Mine is too. Yeah.
Did you get it done?
I never got it done. There's just the supercharger network is just too vast in my area that I travel. I didn't even need it.
I understand. Okay, so this does not turn up anything about Mercedes. What if I type in Mercedes? Heating control unit, ventilation blower. That's a part. Really, you would think that they would have that more readily available, given that they have to deal with other.
This is going to be a popular upgrade. Like they're going to know about it as of now, because if I was a Mercedes-Benz owner and I did any type of traveling, I would definitely be getting this upgrade pronto for my car. So I gotta believe the requests are just flowing in now.
Yeah, because you without it you don't end up with the most streamlined charging experience. So I'm looking at their service campaigns page. They might not have published it because it's a new one. And here we go. Mercedes-Benz World TSB. It doesn't say TSB though. And year 2025 model is EQS. EQS class search. Oh, it won't be 2025. This is 23. There we go. There are no open bulletins. Let's go to recalls.
Yeah, because it's a recall. That's right.
It doesn't say there are any recalls.
Ah, interesting.
I would need probably a technician to be able to find out more then. That's so weird. All right, so we know that they need the adapter and the label for whatever reason. Hopefully somebody in this thread has found out more about this.
So I'm wondering what eCar eBooks in the chat room thinks. Do you think this is going to be a popular one, eCar eBooks? Or do you think Mercedes-Benz owners really won't be upgrading all that much? What do you think? Let us know in the chat.
Definitely. And hello, Robert, all the way from Wales. All right, so he says, guess the adapter doesn't need an install. Doesn't need to install an update. What a mismanaged mess. What? At the same dealer. Okay. So I got a notification in the app. It now just says toggle a switch. Wait, a switch in the car, like a button.
Just a big on-off toggle. That's all it is.
Yeah. If you have an adapter, which I already do, because you can get one from anywhere. Like if you had another car, like a Ford or whatever. And now it's showing. What's up? We've got Marcus with EV Smoke from EV High Voltage Performance and EV. Sorry, your name is long. High Voltage and Performance Racing Team. There we go. So we got a notification in the app. Toggle the switch. Let's see where the switch is. Oh, it should be on the dashboard. Your Mercedes vehicle now has access to the Tesla supercharger network, adding over 20,000 fast charging points to the Mercedes MeCharge network. MeCharge. Mercedes MeCharge?
Yeah. It's bad name.
Yeah. You can now contact your local dealer to purchase the Mercedes-Benz approved adapter needed for superchargers. Once you have your adapter, simply click the button below to include the NACS equipped supercharger stations within the Mercedes-Benz supercharger network. So you click that. Is that in his app or in the email? Oh, okay. It literally is a switch, but it's a software switch. So manage the adapter. Confirm you have the Mercedes-Benz approved NACS DC adapter with the toggle switch below. Enabling this toggle will let you locate and navigate NACS DC fast charger stations.
Oh, so that's just adding the locations to your nav system.
Yeah, that's not bad. But so similar to what we saw with the Cybertruck, where in the phone you push a button and it goes to the car. Except that on this one you can turn it back off. On the Cybertruck, once you've changed the horn from the meep meep to the wonk wonk, you can't go back.
I'm sure that
So-
option will come later.
To come back?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think they
Sure.
give you options on the horn that you can go back and forth?
Maybe options, but they were explicit that it was a one-way change.
Well, yeah, initially, but I got to believe that Tesla's really big on options, like when they allow you to change things. So I could see in the future that they just, they flag it that maybe you get 3 or 4 selections and you can just move between them. But you're right. Right now, you can only go one way.
If he fires the enforcement, then I don't know what they can do to stop him. Where did you order it? My Acadia dealer wants $230 plus tax. Okay, so we have a new record for price. $230. And it varies between dealers, so they can put their own markup on it. That seems reasonable.
That seems like a dealer thing to do.
Yeah. I just picked up the adapter for my dad's car this morning. Dumb, they didn't include it. What? So he bought this car after. Oh wait, but the Mercedes, BMW, and a couple others, they did not promise you free adapter, so I will give them that.
GM.
Yeah, GM doesn't include it. You're right. Or 2 adapters. What do you need 2 for? One to keep in the car and one, but you need a fast charger at home for that to matter. Or you're getting the high voltage and the level 2 adapters. That would make sense. Because you can't use a Tesla adapter without, or you can't use the Tesla, a NACS level 2 connector without a separate adapter because
different adapters.
Yeah, they hit different pins. So the local dealer only ordered 2 total adapters. He got them both. Did they not sell any EVs, or did they piss off all their customers? Like, oh, he's never coming back here. It's money. Only ordered 2 total adapters. Luckily, they said I was the first one to ask about it, so I got them both. Oh, no, I got one of the 2. Wow. Oh, it's another arrow. What's here? Search for city. Oh, okay, so now it's showing Tesla adapters, but it draws them as EV go stations. They just weren't ready for this.
They only have one icon, man. That's all they got.
That's all you get. We're not buying a new one.
No.
What a mess. Not a very luxury experience. Agreed. He says, not at all. Hot chocolate they have in the lounge is quite nice, though. I like hot chocolate. I'll take my wife's EQB in for update for her. What's the stickers? What I want to know. That's why we're still here. What's the sticker? Some late morning label. Oh, wow. Sometimes you just got to stay in the comment thread. Mercedes-Benz approved adapter recommended for NACS fast chargers. DC.
Yes, but AC, no.
Not with that adapter anyway. Okay. I mean, yes, I get it. And that makes sense to put that in there. Just, for the litigious country they find themselves in here. But
yeah, it's cover your butt lawyer stuff. That's what it is. Yeah.
Why don't they put it on the adapter? Nobody else had a sticker. Wow. Okay, so he's letting you know about the DC, which it's the only way that the DC is going to work. If you take this if you take a AC adapter and put it on the supercharger, it will connect, and it will fry your charger.
Hey, hello to Enjoy Journeys. Yes, happy Sunday.
Good to see you, Lee. Thank you. And yeah. Okay, so I don't blame them for that, but I do find it a little weird they didn't know or tell them that, hey, you can, if you already got an adapter, you can go now. So the AC adapter, they're telling you what the AC is. They're telling you there's a Tesla, there's a Tesla wall connector right there, and they're saying not this one, but they don't show you the other adapter you need. Shouldn't they both be on the same sticker, or do you get 2 stickers?
That's a second sticker. Yep.
Oh, man.
Of course, there's no room to put the sticker anywhere, so they'll be probably placing it on the rear quarter of the car, just on the paint job, just right on the outside. Yep.
On your custom football special. All right, so not a real recall. Yeah, that's why we didn't find it on the on the listing. This one was deleted by the owner. As long as you can do it at home, yeah. They couldn't perform the update because they didn't have the sticker. That's right.
Bingo.
That's how it feels. All right, so and then this is a EQS. My buddy charges EQS for the first time. Really? EQS? Which one is the sedan? I thought this would be the a different letter for the SUV. Anyway, I charged the EQS for the first time yesterday at a supercharger. He was so excited. Hallelujah! Look at you blocking 2 supercharger stalls. So Tom Maloney has been testing a supercharger extension cable that may be worth looking into. I haven't looked at any of the summaries or anything about it, so see what he has to say about it first before you even look into making a purchase. But that would help with the situation until we get more of the what Tesla's now calling the long cable supercharger stalls. How embarrassing! I first left Mercedes in my life, never again. Okay. Oh, look at that! It goes on the arm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they're never going to be able to fit an AC sticker someplace else in there if they have to put this one on the arm.
On the other side of the arm where you can't see it.
Yeah, exactly.
A flippy tab. It's a flappy sticker.
Or
No,
you
'cause
get you get a new sticker that says over, and you got to look
Yeah.
at the other side.
Turn over. And it's because it can't be just loosely flapping because it'll get caught in the works there. So it'd have to be one of the ones with like the temporary like sticky that resticks. Oh,
Or it's
wow.
one of those sticker books where it's got multiple pages.
Oh my goodness. All right, so then our friends all ended up looking at something that's supposed to be a little fun. They said this school run is about to be crazy, and you'll never guess who it's from. We're talking about the Nismo team. By the way, the talks between Honda and Nissan and Mitsubishi aren't going so well.
Oh,
Yeah, they were gonna be just a like kind of like Hyundai Kia is. It's like a flat company, but then Honda got a little full of themselves, and they said, "All right, Nissan, you're gonna be under us," uh, just like Acura. Well,
that didn't go so well.
no, not go so well. Remember, the last person who tried to tie them together with any other organizations had to leave the country in a instrument case. So, don't know why they thought it would go over well. And so now the talks are on pause or not going forward. They had a deadline for Honda to put it back the way it was, and that passed. So I don't know how that's going to go. Mitsubishi knew they were going to be underneath one of the two, so they had already dipped out, and so it was really just Honda and Nissan, and it's not looking so good. However, our friends over at Nismo, which is the performance brand of our performance division of Nissan, you can get like a Nismo Venza, I guess, and it would be fast and cool. But the cool Nismos would have been like the for the S car or something like that, the Z car, sorry, and that would have been fun. But now we've applied it to the electric brands. You can get an Aria Nismo. They have a Nismo too, didn't they? I can't recall now.
I think I remember seeing renderings of a Nismo Leaf.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it ever came to market. I just
Yeah, they might
remember
have
the
some-
renders.
They might have just had it like as a competition mode or something like they.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is from our friends at CarWow. 435 horsepower from your Nissan Aria. So nearly the entire output of my rear motor.
Actually, the Aria is a nicely equipped vehicle. It's a good
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
And of course, what I triumph for Nissan with the Aria is they finally went to a liquid cooled battery. So
That part.
that is a huge plus over the Leaf, and good to see.
Yeah. 435. I read somewhere there's no outlet difference between the base model and this. What? So that means they just unlocked basically the Tesla Uncork, but you had to buy a whole trim for it. Wow. All right. So the cool thing about this over the other Nismos is you can still use this. I think I might have said that in my notes. Let me see what I put in my notes. I did not. You can still use this in the carpool line with the kids. You don't have to worry about wasting extra fuel or how temperamental it is to drive. You just flip it in
Yep.
and out of sport mode, and it's a daily driver. I like that part.
Yep.
So, you guys know my association with the lightning pedal. I can't get enough of it. And I did this over on the Tesla Life show, but it wasn't one of our stories, so I didn't really go into it. So as you know, I call 2 states named South home, and both of them right now have blocked service and sales of Tesla and other.
Maybe it's just you, Kacey. Maybe it's just you.
Wherever I go, you can't. Right, so no, that's not true. West Virginia, they didn't make it hard to do,
Okay.
but you had to wait forever for service because it was so popular. All right, so South Carolina got tired of their dealer captured legislature, and we're looking at a proposal here. Finally, could allow direct. Oh, you see what did it? Scout. So Volkswagen is going to be the reason this thing works. So unlike what we Mark and I have been on this forever. Why can't you buy and sell and service a Tesla legally in Texas? They'd spend all this money to acquire the rights to the factory, get them to come here. Here's a tax break, this, that, and the other. But they never changed the law since 2008, 2012. Tesla's been fighting to get heard to be able to sell their vehicles and service them in Texas legally without shenanery. Because right now there's actually a whole separate sub company that does all this stuff. It's wild. But apparently Volkswagen is not willing to make that mistake. They're coming into the state, and they are a direct deal, even though the Volkswagen dealers don't want this at all. They're like, hey, we want to be able to open up a Scout, just like we did an Audi and a Porsche.
Yep.
Volkswagen's like, nah, we done with that. So it's going to be a $2 billion factory in the state. Despite the commitment to attracting Scout with a $1.3 billion incentive package, current laws prevent the company from selling its vehicles directly to South Carolina residents. I'm guessing we don't want to move the paper or the physical vehicles in and out of the state to make it happen. Or maybe we don't have that does where they can make the paperwork go around. So South Carolina law mandates that all new vehicles be sold through franchise dealerships, a structure that has been in place for decades. However, companies like Tesla, Rivian, Lucid, Scout, and a few others have embraced the direct-to-consumer model. So basically, you can go on your website, go on your app, go on the website, order a car, have it show up, and be done with it. No haggling, none of this stuff. If the law remains unchanged, South Carolinians, including the 4,000 workers expected to be employed at Scout's facility, will have to travel to a neighboring state to buy the vehicles that they helped to build. And so my vehicle, I bought it in. I picked it up in Matthews, North Carolina, and it was delivered on paper through Raleigh, North Carolina, because North Carolina has a ruling that at the time that said that the Charlotte gallery at the time was too close to the Raleigh Sales and Service Center, so they could service the cars, but they couldn't sell them because it was too close. 4-hour drive on the highway. Meanwhile, you could hit 3 different Chevy stores in the same town.
Yeah.
Too close. The difference between the Chevys is they all have different ownership, but that was just them trying to justify. So strong criticism from leaders, consumers alike. Cody Thacker, Scout Motors Vice President of Growth, emphasized the law is outdated and limits consumer choice. He pointed out direct sales eliminate the middleman, reducing vehicle prices, allowing manufacturers a more seamless experience. And I like what they're doing here. They're saying, hey, we want the choice to do what we want. They're not saying, hey, abolish dealerships, because for some people it works out. For some brands, it's the only way to make it happen, just because of the way they're structured. So a bipartisan group of lawmakers has introduced the South Carolina Consumer Freedom Act, a bill aimed at revising the state's dealership laws, which, if passed, would allow EV manufacturers without existing franchise agreements. And this is why people say, oh, why doesn't Tesla just acquiesce and do a franchise in these 1 or 2 states? Because that screws them for the whole continent. So they have no agreements, which would work for this particular deal here. So Scout, Lucid, Rivian, and Tesla would be fine. Henry McMaster, the governor, has already signed support for the bill. Oh, sorry, signaled support for the bill, marking a potential turning point in the debate. In a recent interview with South Carolina Public Radio, asked to sign the bill to allow direct-to-consumer EV sales if it landed on his desk.
It's amazing how 4,000 jobs can get, politicians to maybe move their position a little bit.
Yeah, but you got to do like VW and Scout here and do it before you open the factory.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll do you like they did Tesla in Texas, and oh yeah, we'll do it next time. And Texas, they only meet every 2 years, so they just keep putting it off and putting it off. So we're coming into 2025, and it's been on the books to get heard since 2012 at the latest, maybe as early as 2008, with no movement. They even called everybody back in for a special session to hear about some gun stuff, and sent them home without talking about the car.
Yep.
And that was after the Governor Abbott, went through and was just bragging about how Elon this and Elon that and Tesla this and look at all these jobs. All right, good night, everybody. What?
Time to go home.
I was sure they were going to talk about it, but they did not. All right, so the dealer lobby in South Carolina is very powerful. They put most of the money into politics. Despite the potential benefits, the bill, unsurprisingly, faces strong opposition from South Carolina's dealers associations. All right, have a good walk with mommy, baby. These lobby groups argue that direct sales could threaten traditional dealership model. They can't really, because the way it's structured is once you've gone franchise, you can't undo it. So they'd have to go out of business and start something else up.
Yep.
And that is just too much of a risk, because some customers, I only buy Sheffield. I'm a Ford guy. You have to shut it down and rename it. You can't just open it back up again. So, yeah, it's not going to happen. Eliminating the dealerships could reduce competition. Yeah, if you close them, but you're not closing them. You're just adding in more brands. Additionally, the lobby group argues that dealership owners have invested millions into their businesses. Okay.
So that means that, of course, nobody can ever invent a new widget that's better, because these owners in the past have invested millions of dollars into their businesses. So nothing new can come out, apparently.
They fear allowing direct sales will undermine their financial stability. Only if you've signed up with a dealer, or the dealer with a manufacturer who has a crummy product compared to these direct-to-sale products, right?
Yep.
So make sure that take it up with your manufacturer. It's not a law thing, because what we're going to see is what we see with Tesla in Michigan, South Dakota, South Carolina, and others right now is all that business just goes out of state.
Yep.
So you're still going to lose it. So you got to take this up with your manufacturer, not your politician. For now, the bill waits further debate in the House Labor, Commerce, and Industry Committee. If lawmakers fail to act, South Carolina risks sending a contradictory message welcoming EV manufacturers with massive incentives and simultaneously blocking them from selling their vehicles directly to consumers, just like Texas. I added that part, the Texas part. It's true. So then we've got ourselves a little post from our friend Max DeZiger, the head of supercharging in Tesla, or at least Tesla North America, but I think all of Tesla. Building superchargers since 2014. So what we have here is the pre-assembled, the palletized prefab superchargers have made their way to Europe. So no longer do they have to dig and customize and wire and fill it back in. They are ready to go. The only digging you have to do here is if you want to set the situation level, and if you have enough of these to star the DC connectors to each other, so that you can have the supercharger cabinets share, which won't even matter once we get to V4, because they don't have that capability anymore. So these are the prefab V3 pluses. So they've got the V4 cabinets, or sorry, V4 pedestals or dispensers with a V3 cabinet. So here we can see, if I show the mouse. Is mouse working or not? Maybe not. Click here, click there. There we go. So here we've got the V3 cabinet and the V4 dispensers. And we can see that they're all offline because the lights aren't lit up and they're not plugged in yet. But this isn't all. So he mentions that the preassembled superchargers are now ramping in fast in Europe. Prototypes of the V4 cabinet preassembled superchargers are in the works. V4 cabinet preassembled supercharger. I think this means that there could be a real V4 out there. The preassembled part is Tesla's like Microsoft. You have to read the tea leaves. So if he gave you the extra word, it's there for a reason. So preassembled. I overlooked that when I first found this. So there could be a real V4 somewhere in the world. But the pre-assembled ones are in the works. One cabinet with 8 stalls. Please share your best design ideas. We hope to see more of this in the charging industry. The cost savings and time savings and quality improvements are clear, keeping the costs low.
Yep.
So they got a gig of Buffalo, as do all the superchargers. And I'm wondering now at this point, does that mean like the BP and Shell and other folks who promised to buy superchargers from Tesla? Does this mean they're just waiting to get the V4s? Because we haven't seen images of them installed yet, right?
No.
Just mock-ups. Yeah. And they didn't have the Tesla logo on them. So what's the max V4 prefabs PSU you can fit on a single truck? That's a good question, because here's what they can do with the V3s. Wait, no, this is the V4.
Those are 4s. Yeah.
You can see that cabinet is completely different than this one. 8 stalls with 1 cabinet. To fit 16 plus 2. That would be sharp. The current max is 12 V3s, right? Also, for 400 volt countries where you can't use your own 480 volt transformer, will a V4 be 6 per cabinet? How is V3 like how V3 is 3 per cabinet, unlike the North American 4 per cabinet? Our V3 cabinet PSU is indeed currently at 12 stalls per truck.
So that's a flatbed they've taken a picture of.
Yeah.
As they load it up.
It hangs out a little bit too. So that's a V3. Now that fan looks a little different than the last time I looked at the top of a V3 though. Let's make it bigger. Yeah, it's taller because on the V4 is shorter than the pedestals. And that's him loading it in, not him personally, but that's him loading it in Giga Buffalo, or unloading it at the site. There's 4, 4, and 4. Ah, okay. They play a little Tetris right there, don't they?
Yep.
Wow, and that's not one of the ones that's completely flat. It doesn't have a little hump in the middle. All right. So this is finally the V4 cabinets are still 3.5. 3.5 V4s later this year. Probably the first in less colder regions in Europe. Why not? The colder regions is easier to cool.
Yep.
Gregor Truck asked, "Cool, are there wild V4 cabs out there?" I said, "Sounds like no. It's the V3 Plus prefab being installed in Europe, not a V4 cabinet. The official update says V4 prototypes are still in the works. I wonder when we'll start seeing true V4 cabinets in the wild." And then I copied Max's post. In the US, please design them so that somebody not charging with a trailer can't park and block all the stalls. I like that. This happens too many times at rural charging stops. Somebody driving an ICE pickup to see all the empty spots and decides, I'm going to park there across all the stalls. A curb that sticks out. Every 4th charger would solve this problem. And I said, as long as it allows EV pickups hauling heavy to charge without disconnecting, like at a gas station. Because, got Hummer, GM, well, I guess Hummer is GM too, but all the GM trucks, Ford, Tesla, and a couple others that aren't actually out yet, like the Ram, that will need to charge. And then they could be hauling like a long construction trailer. So
yeah, Tesla's got to, everybody actually has to start incorporating that into their designs now, because these pickup trucks are available and have been available for over a year, and they need the ability to charge without disconnecting the trailers.
That's right. And he said Tesla needs to more pull-through chargers for anyone towing. Yeah, absolutely. And not just pull in like with the nose, because if you have one of them long boy trailers I was just talking about, Like with me, if I block a little bit of the aisle, it's no big deal. But if you pull in a 40, 45-foot trailer behind and you park it across the aisle, nobody's getting in or out of that station.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice.
Absolutely.
Stations at V4 too. I said none of them are, but it sounds like from Max's previous updates that all of them are now V3 Plus, with the posts on the V3 cabinets for the ones that are being installed now. Uh, and the stall should be able to put out 500 kilowatts without power splitting. And no, not these ones. These are 325 and 500s in prototyping still, according to Max post above. I understand, but how is it doing in the prototype stage when they plan on for Windows to release? So I have a feeling that even if it doesn't come out pushing 500 kilowatts, it's gonna be pushing 500 kilowatts probably before the end of the year, on those new stations when they finally come out.
Yeah.
And this guy had an idea for how he wanted them to look.
There's a wonderful design.
Yeah. Max asked for it.
Well, maybe he should have, spent a little more time, at least make sure the lines were straight.
I agree. I still give him a heart. He did what he followed the assignment.
Yep, he did. He did.
I don't know if it makes sense, but it'd be pretty interesting if you built in the required foundation mounting points to add a canopy with or without solar, so we can get some shade. And I like that, because as long as there's nothing prohibiting you from putting something up above, if that was already in the slab, that would be really cool. And then if you already had a mount up there, then just don't connect anything to those mounts, right? Put it underneath the canopy. I remember the old supercharger team being laid off sometime last year. I guess this team is being quite innovative with what they are doing. Glad to see things are more modular and easily deployable. Curious on the solar panels in the installation, though. But if we remember, he's been doing superchargers since 2014, so either he got hired back or not everybody got fired. Tesla have been doing this for years. Just the first time they've done it in the UK. He didn't say it was the first. He said it was ramping up. Excuse me, but this is a video of how it works. So just crane it in. Done. Plug it in.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's give him a heart for giving us a cool video. And none of these other ones were here when I came through the first time, so we'll skip it. We've got two updates. Mark showed us this one. Let's go to Tesla X status here. Copy link. And the Model S and X now with free supercharging applies to orders in the US, Canada, and Puerto Rico, plus the European and Middle East. That's everywhere. Not everywhere, but
Tesla's pulling another demand lever because now they did increase the price of the X by $3,000. So is it really free supercharging or is it just bundling?
Bundled. But if you're like me, you can get your money's worth.
Oh, yeah. You've got your money's worth. Definitely, Kacey. Yep.
Yeah. I got at least $3,000 of supercharging in that vehicle. So it applies to new orders in the US and Canada, Puerto Rico, and Middle East. And that's free supercharging for life of the owner of the car.
That's right. Non-transferable. One car, you get to keep it for that car until you sell it, and then it disappears.
Yep. Unless they offer a different promotion where you can move it to another car, but don't count on those.
Yeah, you can't count on that for sure.
Man, if I could swing another Model X right now.
Kacey, I gotta go. Okay. Thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate seeing everyone in the chat room, and we'll on I guess it's Monday. There'll be another Tesla Life Express episode happening at 7 p.m. release, so you can see us there.
There you go. And
thanks so much.
Thank you, Mark.
Have a great day.
You too. So that's gonna be the Tesla Life show on YouTube, and that's the lifetime free supercharging. And then there's another post right here that I copied for what reason? Let's see. Let's paste this in here. And this is what Mark was telling us about. They raised the price of the Model X by $5,000, which makes you lose the EV tax credit.
Yeah, so it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag with the bundling, for sure. Yeah, but like all right, everyone. Have yourselves a great day. Talk to you later.
Bye. So you want to always make sure if you see what you like and you can afford it and it fits in the budget, pull it, because things change all the time. So this $5,000 hike removes the ability to qualify for the tax credit because it's now above the $80,000 limit for an SUV or truck. And so effectively, they've raised the price by $5,000 and an additional $7,500 out of pocket or on your loan, as the case may be. Because now it's at 84,990, so it's $4,990 too high for the tax credit. All right, but then if you like expensive cars, take a look at this. Faraday Future. We looked at this many years ago. Apparently, they made 14 or 12 of them, something like that, and you can get one of them now. It was $300,000 when it was new, but probably more because these were just the first couple of them. Uh, you're looking at $38,000 after auction, or at the auction so far at the time of the writing of this article. You got 142 kilowatt hour battery, tri-motor all-wheel drive, 1050 horsepower. So if you like a Plaid, this has more power than a Plaid. It can hold its own next to Model S Plaid and Lucid Air Sapphire. Uh, Inside is extremely plush with heated ventilated massaging zero gravity seats, 11 displays, a rear hinged back door, and to make entry in easy like there. It's an executive saloon, so you can only get 4 seats in this massive vehicle. And yeah, it was something. It was definitely something. I mean, it was built that you could have fun driving it, but it was designed for you to be driven. Here was like the facial recognition panel, that square right there. Oh, there's more pictures. Here's the rear seat entry with the lie flat seats. Well, not flat, but just lay down, take a nap. I put in a free reservation for one of these. I had no intention of buying it for $300,000 though, or even putting in a reservation at all until they made them free. Turned out a little better than the prototype. Anyway, company's not out of business. They just are not making these anymore. Little skeleton crew. All right, so we're going to copy this link and we're going to go here to look at this one from Drive Tesla Canada about Tesla's building a Megapack servicing facility in Western Australia. So they're going to service Megapack, Powerwall, and Power Pack if you got any of them, I assume. They're going to, what do they call it? Renew their battery products. Service, repair, and renew the battery products from the factory. So you can get refurbished Megapack or refurbished Powerwall right there in Australia. Not bad. And then this one came up. They wanted to know. I wonder if my wife is washing the car or if the neighbors have got something going on there. Because our pressure washer is electric, of course, battery electric. And it would sound like somebody's small engine further away because it's so close. Anyway, this is America's first refrigerated catering truck for aviation. So it doesn't need much range. It just needs to be able to run the refrigerators for all day, and it needs to be able to run around the airport. And you can charge it while you're loading it up. So you load it up in the back, and then it lifts the box up, way up to the be able to service the aircraft and bring in and out the food service. So Global Airports ground support equipment manufacturer Mulligan has just deployed what it says is North America's first ever fully electric refrigerated catering truck designed specifically for the aviation industry. That looks sharp. The CT600E is not only reinforces our commitment to innovation and stability, but also supports our partners in their pursuit of greener, safer, and more efficient aviation operations. Uh, as a truck, it's shown in Boston. Looks to be based in the same international EMV chassis as the underpins the Hazmat 1 fire truck. The EMV features 33,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, a direct drive electric motor packing in 1737 pound-feet of peak torque, and 135 miles of range from its 210 kilowatt hour lithium-ion battery pack. So 135 miles of range is not bad for running all day on the airport, right? To help it service aviation, especially like I said, you can plug it in while you are loading it. And here it is working for Delta, and that's how it looks. To help it serve its aviation mission, the CT600E, which features a number of new technologies, is aimed at both vehicle efficiency and operator safety, including an advanced aircraft control approach system to help reduce aircraft damage, 360-degree bird's eye camera system with onboard hard drive and onboard telemetry. So the hard drive will be nice, so if somebody tries to blame you for hitting the airplane, you'll have proof. And the rest of it is very helpful to you as a driver. The Maligan CT600E will be operated by Premium Airline, catering company DO&CO, whose international roster of clients includes American Airlines, Delta, Gate Gourmet, IAG, Southwest, Qatar Airways, and Surveyor. And Robert says, share the new battery in the power bank in city center shops on my live stream, so it's much lighter but costs more. Yeah, lighter is good for something you'll be hauling around. But like we talked about, there's a heavier technology that works. It costs so there's lithium iron phosphate, and then I want to say it was zinc. Zinc's not all that heavy, but there was another technology out there that was a little bit heavier. That is easier for stationary support because weight doesn't matter at that case. Armaturo sends us a GIF. It looks like cool. And so anyway, the CT6000E is the first such refrigerated electric catering truck in the U.S., and it's most certainly not the first first truck that Maligan has put into service. Those two photos above show a similar product from Maligan, confusingly called the CT600E, 6000E, based on Volvo's FL Electric. So they have the same model number. That's why it looks different down here. So, all right. Got 7 comments. Let's see what they say. Perfect use case for AV. The vehicle can be sized to meet its daily duty cycle and charged when the airport is shut down overnight or when you load it up. A truck should stay and charge near the place the cargo is picked up, not the place where it is delivered to. In some cases, it would burn half of the work hours or state of charge just to get to work. That's assuming that you loaded up offsite. If you load up at the airport, then yeah, it's no big deal. You may want to watch any electric trucker on YouTube, and you'll soon understand that's not true. The trucker in Germany drives long distance electric trucking, and it fits charging in mandated breaks and overnight stops. Yeah, he's driving. I've seen his videos. They're good. They're very good. I'm wondering whether there is much benefit of having a dedicated EV platform for such a use case. It runs the refrigerators, it drives, it idles, it runs the hoists. You don't need a separate generator. Tell me why this is a bad design for a vehicle. This is the perfect use case for it. I'm saying. Um, Makes no sense to convert drivetrain lift platform and refrigerating from diesel power to EV. Sell the whole truck to another airport and get a BEV one. I didn't see anywhere in the article that they converted this. It sounded like it was. It looks in the picture like it's brand new. It makes total sense. A truck like this gets 8 to 12 miles per gallon on the highway, plus consuming DEF. Working at the airport is complete waste to keep diesel engine idling the majority of the time. The reefer unit is easily electrified, and the lift is electric powered hydraulic already. That's true. Probably runs on a bunch of 12 or 24-volt batteries, and now you can just run it directly off of the pack or the DC to DC converter. The truck can be charged while it's backed up to the loading dock. With a properly executed EV alternative, they can afford to run a diesel fleet. They can't afford to run a diesel fleet. It's true, because the costs are going to go up substantially on a diesel fleet. It's a no-brainer. Let's give this guy some credits here. There we go. All right, so that's everything from the notebook for this week. I've got some more, so let's see what we want to get into, because where they are means I haven't read them. Just the headline. So this one from Ars Technica about the same thing we started with the federal programs being under fire. Share this tab instead. This one, the electric BMW M3 will sound like a gas car inside. Like I keep saying, this works for Kia on the GT6. So who are we to say that more buyers is not a good thing, even if we don't understand. Got a lot of stuff that's not EV stuff open in this thing. All right, so we talked about the servicing, which is there. That's about video games. That's about AI. It's about my server back there. I went to Storm Watch in Virginia. This one sounded interesting. That's why I opened it, but I didn't come back and read it yet. There's finally an automatic fix to restart failed EV charging stations. The ChargeX consortium has figured out how to automatically restart failed EV charging sessions at fast chargers, so the drivers don't have to. Every EV driver has been there. You plug in, walk away to grab food or errands, and expect your battery to be juicing up at a DC fast charger, only to return to realize nothing has happened. Or you get like a notice that charging stopped or that somebody's unplugged your stuff. Gig and motor playing outside in the front yard, and the cameras are just freaking out. The charging consortium has figured out so you don't have to. You walk away, you start unplugging and plugging back in, and that's going to take twice as long. The National Charging Experience Consortium, or the NCEC, excuse me, made up of researchers from the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, NREL, Idaho National Laboratory, INL, and the Argonne National Laboratory, ANL. Well, this is all EV stuff from the government, so it's on pause. Has come up with a smart fix to one of the most frustrating parts of being EV charging: failed sessions. The consortium's tech is designed specifically for DC fast charging, and the novel mechanism automatically resets both the EV and the charger and then resets the session in the background. The drivers don't need to return to the car or even think about it. So it sounds like it will also have to do the payment, keep that session running. Otherwise, you'd have to be there. Let's see. The seamless mechanism in place, the EV driver at a retail center can plug in to the charging connector, provide the user input data, leave shop, and feel confident they will return to a fully charged vehicle. So on the fully compliant NACS stations, like the superchargers and others, if it's got the plug-in charge, as long as they don't charge per session, that should be even easier to do with this system. To tackle that, the consortium suggests that every EV suggests that the EV industry provide transparency in the form of real-time status updates, insights into what went wrong, and recommendations based on the type of charging failure and the number of attempts made. So it doesn't sit there and cycle if there's something wrong, like when my battery went out, like, oh, yeah, there's nothing to connect to. It's kind of light on close toward on Honda's EV Hub in Ohio. I will watch that later. Uh, light on details, but it's good that they have something going. Interesting idea, but does this apply to NACS or just CCS? I've not encountered a fast charger that failed during the charge, but was otherwise fine. When I've had chargers fail after starting, it's because they were broken, and restarting them made little sense because they would just fail again after another 15 seconds. Not really sure this does anything for reliability. 1 or 2 for me. Usually it was somebody messing with the cable. Pure Gigi is amazing. Pretty sure my iPhone back in 2009 would keep trying to connect it to the Wi-Fi if the connection was spotty. Should have been a thing from the beginning. Being not an expert in this charging, it seems like a well-intentioned but flawed band-aid. Rebooting appliances should be a last resort, especially since limitless rebooting seems to be problematic for damaged equipment. Sometimes a failure should be accepted as such and not an artifact of random noise, which is what such a reboot is designed to solve. After all, the in-car system has been detected a dangerous electrical fault that may start a fire or electrocute somebody. If we shouldn't be repetitively power cycling it, hoping it will randomly go away. The right engineering solution would be to make a standard industry recognized conformance test for both cars and chargers that walk through the various error states and error conditions, ensure both sides conform to the expectation, rather than relying on each individual vendor to bodge together whatever testing they want to pay for, subject to whatever the engineer du jour misinterprets as the standard today. Often standard testing programs come with a trademark certification emblem attached, such as OpenCL or UL, which the company is allowed to use to market their certification process. Would you buy a non-UL rated electric skateboard? I wouldn't, but it could burn my house down. Imagine a NAC certification process and emblem. Well, they've got one. It's the SAE J3400. Uh, is the port in the right place? Does it charge at 250 kilowatts? Does it interrupt with superchargers, etc., etc., etc.? Did that one load up yet? It did. It loaded, but I don't see where it went. Unless it was full of moderated posts. Energy standard name is J3400, not NAX. Okay, whatever. JNAX. I agree there should be some sort of testing and certification process on an ongoing basis, much like gas pumps are inspected and certified yearly. Charin does testables, which are a poor substitute for not having verification equipment requirements in the charging standards. SAE generally does have verification requirement summaries in the EV charging documents. ISO and IEC does not make me laugh. How many times I gotta snooze this? What does the snooze count as? Oh, okay. It popped up and asked me how long. Let's do 30 minutes. You seriously believe the people behind the system haven't considered such concerns? One of my pet peeves is armchair internet experts making blind assumptions and then acting as if they discovered something nobody else would have ever thought of before. But I am the part author of one such system, and it's rare enough. Even the foundation of floating point arithmetic, i.e., IEEE 754, which has been around since the 80s, has a standard but no official conformance tests. So they're talking about floating point processing in your computer or phones or whatever. Okay, so Robert's talking about his portable charger. So the new one is 20,000 milliamp hours, and the old one is 35.9 milliamp hours. So they're going in amp hours, which could mean that the new one is a higher voltage, or it might be conforming to the airline cap because they put a travel capacity cap on the portable power banks just to make sure that if one went off on an airplane or a train, I did take everything else out with it. Da, 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 da. Who said limitless restarts? Yeah, that's another good point. Supply of undefined behavior common to the favorite programming language, and tie that together with floating point in the sum total of nearly all computation done by anything. It is in fact quite rare that an engineering standards body will invest the money into engineering it for it. They don't have the money, or if they don't have the money, nor would participating companies cede their autonomy to it. When they do, e.g., OpenGL, may be so minimal that it's a joke. That is, so he's talking about a video standard there, or 3D rendering. That is, they indeed have thought of it and rejected the idea because their competitors might use it as a tool to keep their products off the market. Yes, it's clearly in the customer's best interest and will be helpful to engineering, but since it threatens the shareholder primacy, is no go. Where does it exist? It may be a third party is needed, like the insurance companies, not the original producers, and stuff like that. Rubber says yes, yeah, and this is why we can't have nice things. There's no great engineering principle driving this decision, like you may imply, just malignant self-interest. Maybe. You need to read ISO 15 15118 and IEC 61851-23 and get back to us. And SAE J1772, J3400, and J3068 are all the link standards, including UL 2231 and 2251. Yeah, I was about to say they UL list these things. By the way, you mentioned UL earlier. UL really doesn't care if the product works. They really just care that they won't electrocute or burn anything down. They underwrite insurance if it doesn't work. And the markets take care of that usually. Who said limits restarts? Yeah. We talked about this one, the Tennessee tripling their dumb tax. The bidirectional charging. Yep. All right, any other that stand out as EV related? Yeah, but do. Polestar 2 destroys a bunch of gas cars in a real-world test. YouTube channel recorded a Polestar 2 EV driving through deep water without issue. Most combustion vehicles attempting to do the same take water into their intake and stall. Hydrolock. Or worse, they have the hydrolock and bend something. EVs allow you to keep going in a flooded road that would pose serious problems for an ice car, but it's still a bad idea to drive in deep water. Yeah. Many advantages to electric motors have over combustion engines, so they don't need air to work. It's true. Well, they don't need to breathe air to work. They might still use air for cooling, but they can have it cut off for a second or two. Fails galore, and epic close calls. I will watch that later. Looks like I love music. Got a sale. Oh. I felt an undulation under my chair, and there was an earthquake in South Carolina this morning. So that was odd. uh, I need to look up that earthquake and see more about it. I clicked on it and then didn't read it. Okay, Macintoshes, Mega Thread, State Capital Pictures, Description. Toyota. All right, so we'll talk about Toyota after this. Tesla sales crashed in another market, and this time they can't blame the Model Y. Australia is the latest market to report a significant drop in sales for Tesla for the first month of 2025. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to check, and Fred knows better than this. You can't use January numbers with Tesla. You have to use March and June and September and December numbers. You can't use January numbers alone because, especially January. January is definitely not a priority for any market. You do better, Fred. Simply because of the way that they work, and they don't use dealers, I'm not even going to look into that. So we'll come back in March and take a look, see if they've gone down or not. Toyota's built their first battery EV plant in the U.S. It's ready for business, but there's more. Hi, baby. No password? Can you play picnic? Yeah. It's hot sun? Yeah. It is hot outside. It's almost 90 degrees. It's February, almost 90 degrees. Ugh. Yeah, so Toyota will begin batteries in the US in April. So it's ready. They are filling it up for the first runs now. Look at that. Still not selling the States. Uh, and where are you gonna put them in? Just hybrids for now? Because your busy forks and your Lexus aren't gonna use that. Electric says Toyota's announcement comes with comes as it quickly falls behind in the U.S. In the auto in the industry's shift to EVs in major sales regions, including the U.S. and China. Last year, they sold just 18,750 BZ4Xs for the year. In competition in the U.S. By comparison. Wow, I don't think any of the dedicated shops did less than that. Maybe Lucid, but they're also not a Toyota class. Just uh, Eddie says, I might be late, but where are you? Currently, I'm sitting in the southeast, and who knows where I'll be sitting in a couple months. Move around. That's what I do. So this is at my house in South Carolina, and let's see. The situation is even more severe in China, where the Toyota is losing ground to low-cost domestic EVs. Yep. After sales fell 9% in China last year, Toyota blamed the shift to new energy vehicles. As a maker of new energy vehicles since 2001, uh, that should not be. Yes. Okay. If you've been making new energy vehicles since 2001, the shift to new energy vehicles is no excuse, Toyota. It's pretty pathetic. I'm gonna have to dust off that article I've been writing to Mr. Article, that open letter I've been writing to Mr. Toyota, and publish it. Publish it and send it to him. Glad Toyota has a battery plant in the US, but shouldn't they start making more EV models first? What else do we have here? We've got robocalls, home assistants. Tesla sales dropping like a rock in Europe, but not just because of Musk. Again, this is just January. I can't use just January numbers. I mean, I can, but it would not be. It wouldn't make sense to do it that way. Boeing. All right, where do I want to go? Close these. Boeing has lost $2 billion on the Starliner program. They're silent on their future. They were silent on the future, but Eddie says a battery plant in the U.S. and they still can't make the Prius an EV, right? I mean, I think a Prius EV is what people have been asking for. They don't want something else. You give them the Prius EV, and it's a known quantity, but it doesn't burn gas, and I think that you'll make a significant chunk of your customers happy. And then for the SUV stuff, bring back the Prius V, make it into a real SUV crossover, and then you've still got something. You're right, Eddie. Yeah, so they've lost 2 billion on Starliner, but still silent on the future plans. But at the same time, the Doge is talking about canceling Artemis program. So that should give them a clue about what might happen with Starliner. I'm sure Elon wouldn't straight up cancel NASA's contracts with Boeing because that would fail the conflicts of interest test. But if they just cancel the moon program as it stands, then Boeing would have less money to work with, so they would definitely not be able to afford a loss leader like the Starliner, and they may cancel it themselves. Uh, the last the last test flight did not go well at all. It was an 8-day cruise, and the astronauts are still in space, and the craft is back safely on the ground as it sprung more leaks. I don't see there being any real future for Starliner. Timothy, greetings. Yeah, Mark was saying hello. He was asking for some comments in the chat, but I think you might have been on break because I was late, and I do apologize that I was late. But I do thank you for coming back. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Starliner, and if they cancel Artemis, that will be a huge savings on the budget because that has just crept and it's late. Everybody's late. SpaceX is late. People who make the mobile platform, they're not just late, but millions of dollars over budget. They're talking about it's going to be like a billion or two for a platform that's supposed to cost a couple $1,000,000. And Blue Origin finally launched a rocket, but all the people that they were supposed to be sending engines to are still complaining that they don't have their engines. We don't have the craft that's supposed to meet up with the Starship in space. We don't have the space station. So at this point, I don't say abandon the moon, but maybe we refocus it while we're in there, shifting stuff around, make it a lot cheaper. Still go to the moon, but uh, get some commercial crew in there. I'm not saying use Dragon because that's tiny, but since you've already got the Starship going up there, why not? Uh, why not just go in the Starship and come back, and then transfer to another thing like a Dragon or another Starship and come back? I don't know. Or if you're still going to do the space station, have a Starship sitting up there as a space station, and then why them? They're the cheapest and they're effective. Not the starships themselves, but the SpaceX is the cheapest and they're effective. If there was anything else up there that was cheap, I would say, yeah, let's do it. Marvel, OpenAI, Google, Samsung, Samsung, Samsung. Uh, Self-hosted web stuff. Here we go. US's largest solar cell factory is now online in South Carolina. Except I closed everything. So we need to share screen. There. Wait for it to shrink around. Did it not go? It didn't go. It let me pick it, but it didn't go. There. Right, I've got my toggle. And I'm sharing twice. Let's close this one. I don't need 2 copies of the same screen. That's just weird. Okay, I'll put that one back. There we go. So the US's largest solar cell factory is now online in South Carolina. We're looking at ES Foundry, become the largest producer of crystalline solar cells in the US with its launch of this new factory in South Carolina. I wonder if I've driven past this thing. It looks familiar. The factory is expected to reach a shipment capacity of 3 gigawatts by Q3 of 2025. That's That's just months away. We're talking September. By September, they're going to be at 3 gigawatts of solar cells. So the IRA is still doing its work, even if it's about to get paused. Its more than 400,000 square foot facility is on track to employ 500 local workers by June of 25. And Alex Zhu, Foundry's CEO, said that the facility's strategic location in Greenwood highlights the ES Foundry's dedication to supporting local communities, generating high quality jobs, and regional development, economic development. They announced in mid-January they had secured their first multi-gigawatt, multi-year contract with a top-tier solar module manufacturer. So they make the cells that go in the panels or on the cars or other places you'll find solar cells at. President and CEO of the Solar Energy Industries Association says that the facility is an example of how we combine good policy with business innovation to deliver for American workers, support the local economy, and strengthen our nation's energy security. And according to the Carolinas Clean Energy Business Association, the solar industry's economic impact on South Carolina is expected to increase nearly fourfold by 2035, with projections showing a rise in annual economic activity from 306.6 million in 2024 to almost 1.4 billion in 2035. Now, the year I got the panels put on this building, or the extra panels put on this building, South Carolina had set a record for being in the top 10 for solar. And then they quickly fell down the next year. But they can do it again. Timothy says, cheers. And again, go buy his book. I'm curious to see whether South Carolina GOP legislators and solar industry executives can manage to talk their anti-IRA smack, yet manage to not destroy the tens of thousands of jobs of powerful renewables economy they created under Biden. Consistency? Does that matter? The jobs are here now, so as long as they don't get too much just roadblocks thrown at them, I think they should be fine. Real estate Biden jobs could have justified just continued with this instead of the chaos we have now. Mm. Sales are dropping in Europe. January. Tesla's autonomous vacuum robot could revolutionize the robotaxi fleet maintenance. So, glimpse to the future of autonomous cleaning. Tesla shared a glimpse of their robot vacuum cleaner at the We Robots Cybercab unveiling event last year, but now the company has shared a longer video showcasing the vacuum robot in action, efficiently cleaning the interior of a Cybercab. Yes, they did. It was a really well done video. I don't know if it had music, but it had narration. Let's see.
I wait.
It does have audio. Do I want to mess with it? I can't do captions from here. Let's do it.
I
I might have to clip it in
clean.
the review.
I live. They leave gifts for me.
So here you can
So
see
kind.
it taking out like a backpack. It's
They
probably a foot
feed
lots of pounds.
me like a king,
Full of water bottles.
but I don't do it for accolades. My work is my sustenance, soaking up every last
Who says
crumb and
fancy?
every last crevice. Potato chips. Like our own little game of
Yeah.
hide and seek.
And that's cleaning the carpet with a brush.
Found you.
Or else.
It's a simple
And
life,
clean the screen.
but as the sun is to a flower, vital. Until next time, my old friend.
So I wonder if the car is like a fish and it came up and was like, service me. Or if the robot's like, hey car, open the doors please. All right, I'm done. Close the doors please. Not that it really matters because all of that will work out and it will change once it hits implementation. One of the most impressive aspects of the vacuum bot is its ability to detect and remove not just dust and dirt, but also larger objects like discarded drink bottles. And the system intelligently switches between vacuuming and wiping functions, ensuring a deep clean that keeps the vehicle looking pristine for every new passenger. And this actually is going to be a little easier than one might think because there are no cracks and crevices between the seats and the doors and the seats and each other, that sort of thing. And the seats don't slide that we know of. So um, they should be at the same position. So it'll be a lot cleaner than a lot easier to clean than even an existing Tesla, and especially any of the legacy cars. Set production this next year. Larger scale is more than just a car vacuum. While Tesla has focused on the robot's use in cybercabs, the potential applications for this technology extend beyond ride sharing. Many speculate that Tesla could bring the smart cleaning system to private vehicle owners, offering an advanced interior cleaning solution for owners. Yeah, but what they're probably going to charge for this thing, it would not be what you'd want to use for your weekly car clean. But if you had a fleet of cars, and hopefully it could work on not just the cybercab, if you had a fleet of cars, it hopefully could get us to your Model X, for instance. It's got power doors all around. Model X and Cybercab. Maybe add power doors to the rest of the fleet finally. Why not? I like it. It spoiled me. And I don't know why the Cybertruck didn't have it. Should have had it to begin with. As soon as they deleted those handles, they should have added the self-presenting doors all around. At least on the high trims. Additionally, the modular nature of the vacuum arm suggests it could be adapted for other household and industrial cleaning applications. If Tesla continues to refine the technology, we may see its robotic arm vacuum system expand into smart home ecosystems or even commercial cleaning services. If you put it on a mobile base, yeah, I can see that happening. We've got a speculative politics story. They are saying what could happen with the tariffs if they ever actually get implemented, rather than used as a cudgel. Announced plans of a 25% tariff on Canadian and Mexican imports, as well as 10% on products from China. None of these went into effect. $155 billion worth of products in the U.S. And remember, whoever picks the products up from the port is paying that tax. So it won't be the U.S. and Canada, or it won't be Canada and Mexico. But what the goal is for us to then pick somebody inside who you don't have to pay the fee when you go pick up your products. 30 billion on Tuesday. Auto sector is going to shut down within a week, said Volp. 25%. Nobody in our business is profitable by a long shot. Not nobody. There's a certain vendor out there that has a 25% margin at a minimum, and 30 is their goal. But I don't know if they'd want to make cars for 5% profit from. They would definitely move their stuff around. Like for the cars entering Canada, they would just ship them from Germany, because why not? Where did my stuff go? There we go. I clicked on something and it moved me out of the window. So 500,000 jobs across the province. You'll see the data for Tesla's vehicles below. Cybertruck 65% US and Canada, 25% Mexico. Model 3 long range, 75% for US and Canada, 20% Mexico. Model 3 performance, 70% US and Canada, 20% Mexico. I wonder where the other 5% came from on that car. Model Y, all trim, 70% US and Canada, 25% Mexico. Model S, 65% US and Canada, 20% Mexico. And then the batteries was really bringing you around on this one. The S and the X is they got a giant battery from Japan. I'm wondering also if maybe the rear doors have a function on the X too, because you're looking at 60% US and Canada, 25% from Mexico. So the 5% moves to Mexico. Interesting. All right, so anything else in the channel that I left that would be interesting? I mean, there's more, but anything worth just touching on today? There's so much stuff in here. I don't know if we touched on it or not, but this one was interesting. I'm gonna leave it out. It's more politics than anything, but it was something. Yeah, I'll just go through these and then make just kind of bump them into next week for the ones that are still relevant. So with that, I want to thank all of you guys today. I want to thank you for coming and spending your Sunday with us. I want to thank Mark for coming through and presenting with me. I want to thank our channel members like Timothy and Anders for your membership. This helps pay all the little memberships and subscriptions and stuff we need for the stuff to run the channel, like this software that we're in now, like the video editing and photo editing software. And every little bit helps, especially with these little rugrats eating me out of house and home. So anything I don't have to fight between those two is really appreciated. And again, thank you all for your patience with me starting the show late today and sticking around. And we'll catch you next week. As Mark said, tomorrow we've got the Tesla Life Express premiere, and on Wednesday we've got the Tesla Life live show. Hopefully my new glasses are in by then. We'll see. But with that, we'll catch you on the flip side, and thanks again.